So there's a new update to the PlayStation 5 firmware, software, whatever, that just hit today. And it is supporting 1440p HDMI video output, game lists, which I'm not entirely sure what that means. Add new PS5 UX enhancements and social features. And if we look at the actual blog, so the game lists, let's zoom in here. Launch PS5 remote play session through the PlayStation app. I kind of like that. That's cool. I don't see a ton of other stuff. YouTube search through voice command. Okay, cool. Additionally, you can now compare 3D audio and stereo audio on the same screen and more easily access in-progress activities from game hubs. Okay. I mean, honestly, all of this is like, cool. Love it. All they need to do to get me like really hyped for a PlayStation software update is bring back themes. The fact that they got rid of themes is actually mind-boggling to me. It was an actually like really cool thing that they did for the PlayStation 4, where you could like, that was one of the best and coolest big like benefits of pre-ordering something, was getting those exclusive themes. I remember like the collector's edition for The Last of Us Part 2 had really cool themes and music that played, and when you're on the home screen it plays the music in the background, and oh, it was so cool. I don't know why they got rid of it for this gen. It's so stupid. It was such a cool thing, and there's no reason to get rid of it. And that's, I think, what bugs me more is it's all upside, no downside. PlayStation wouldn't have to really develop any of those themes. They would just have to support them. The developers for these games would put them together as pre-order bonuses to try and sell more pre-orders. Like, it's all upside, no downside. I mean, they're saying so maybe no space given how the UI works. I don't know. I am always baffled that there's so much blank space on the canvas for the PlayStation 5's UI. I don't think it's that crammed. And I think, you know, even if it is a little tight, even if this is the total amount of real estate you're working with, just having an art piece and the music in the background is enough to justify it. I will say it again, and I've said it a lot. Every little thing that's come out in the last year and a half, 2 years surrounding PlayStation and PlayStation 5 has just reaffirmed to me that it's just the PS3 all over again. Sony got really high on their horse thinking they were all that in a bag of chips after the success of the PlayStation 2, and they just totally dropped the ball because they get overconfident and they stop trying because they feel like they don't have to, because their fanboys and girls excuse every stupid move they make by simply saying, oh, well, you guys are just haters. You're just haters. And it's like, no, this is like, it's possible for me to have an honest and fair criticism. The Last of Us Part 1 is a poor value proposition. The idea that you're charging $70 for a remaster of a game that's 10 years old is just baffling to me. And the fact we can't agree on this is just amazing. I understand that some people are like, well, but they redid models, and they like the character models look a lot better. And yes, they do. It's a very good remaster. It's a great remaster. One of the best. You know, it's one of the best remasters. You've seen all the remasters. It's one of the best. We love it very much.
We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling.
But this is just not worth $70. And the fact that people still make excuses for it is insane. But constantly, and this is why you've got to like call out YouTubers when we say stupid stuff. People will just like kind of hand wave it away when a YouTuber that they like says something that's kind of dumb. I appreciate you guys because you hold my feet to the fire when I say stupid stuff, and then I reevaluate and I'm like, oh wait, no, I do see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, no, you're right. That was an L take. I said it clunkily. I didn't think it through before saying it, that type of thing. But when like a YouTuber you watch says something like, I won't name specifics, but there were some YouTubers that did reviews of The Last of Us Part 1, and heavily implied that if you didn't think that it was worth buying at $70, that you were a PlayStation hater and that you were just trying to get hate clicks. Because, and that, like, one guy I saw heavily implied that you were also sexist because The Last of Us Part 1 is a game centered on Ellie. That was a smaller YouTuber. Somebody sent me their video, and I think their video was mostly centered around like trying to drive hate clicks and like rile people up. But still, like, when you hear somebody say something like that, you just have to explain, hey, come on. Like, we're being a little silly. Like, $70 for what is just a graphical upgrade is a little silly. $70 freaking dollars. If we're like fast forwarding 50 years and inflation has gone crazy and, you know, $70 then is like $10 now, then yeah, maybe then you can be like, yeah, $70 for that upgrade. Sure. Totally justified. But for this, it's just insane. And like you're saying, let's see, Maggie Boss. Yeah. So Maggie Bossy, The Last of Us 1 Part 1 is the same price as God of War Ragnarok. Let that sink in. It's the same. It's technically, with inflation, it's the same price as Red Dead Redemption 2 was when it launched in 2018. The visual upgrade is the same price as Red Dead Redemption 2 was in terms of buying power when adjusted for inflation. And you're going to tell me that that makes sense? Come off it. Like, anybody who tries to argue that with a straight face, I think is just arguing in bad faith. Like, let's be honest. There's no way to reasonably argue it. It's fine if you really like The Last of Us Part 1, and if you have never played it before and money's burning a hole in your pocket and you just want to tackle it and you're like, you know what, $70, I'm going to get the definitive version of the game. Okay. You don't have to be happy about it being $70. You can even say this isn't really worth $70, but I'm going to overpay for it because I just want to play it. Okay. As long as you're aware you're overpaying. But when people say, no, it's a really good visual upgrade, that makes it okay. No, we're being silly. We're being stupid. Let's acknowledge this. We made it dumb. Don't be dumb. Don't be stupid. You got to be able to call it out. $40-$50 would be a good price for it. $40, I would have no issue. That would be, I think, for me, an easy recommend for pretty much everybody. Like, yeah, get the definitive edition. If you have a PS5, get this on your console. It's a must-have as a modern gamer. But $70, it's also just about the principle of the thing. Like, what are we doing? Guess what the rating score was? I haven't looked at the Metacritic because also, like, scoring a remaster/remake out of 10 just doesn't make sense to me at all. It just doesn't. Like, when they do the Witcher 3 graphical, like, next gen upgrade, I'm gonna say the same thing. I'm like, why would I give that a number score rating? Like, either the upgrade is worth the price paid or it's not. There's no, like, yes, this now the game is a 9 out of 10, even though 10 years ago it launched at a 10 out of 10. How does that make any damn sense? You know, it's dumb. It's just dumb. I saw a review from Metro Game Central that pretty much said the remake is pointless, half the content being gone and the pricing not helping. Yeah, the multiplayer missing. I mean, not many people, just on a pure numbers basis, played the multiplayer mode. There were some people that were really into it, but it's not a huge selling point for people. So I wasn't as upset about that as some others, especially because they're working on a total revamping of the multiplayer mode for the near future. So, I wasn't that outraged about that. I mean, of course, it just reaffirms the idea that you're paying more for less. But I mean, again, it was, like I said in the review I did, it was never made for me. Like, it just was never made. I was never going to be really into that. It was always being made for the people that are going to come over from the HBO series and the people who are such sycophantic PlayStation and Naughty Dog fans that they would pay $100 for this and they wouldn't care. So it was never for me. It was never going to be my thing. So